Hello, hello. Welcome back. I am once again healthy. Thank goodness. Apologies being here last week. I missed all of y'all, but I am back. And today I want to talk about a question that I get on a regular basis about what's the difference between WordPress org and WordPress.com. So there are two ways that you can WordPress, and it's exciting and it's different than other providers are out there. When you go to Squarespace, you are hosted by Squarespace. When you go to Weebly or Wix, you are hosted by them. You can get your own domain and it points to their servers, but you're hosted by them. And that's what WordPress.com is. It's similar to these services where they are your host, basically. They are holding all of your files and setting up your site and kind of maintaining it. Whereas WordPress.org, you're going out to Lyric, SiteGround, or some other server. You could even have your own server on your own computers. That's not doesn't happen much anymore, but it can. So you're going out to different servers, to different hosts, and purchasing that service, the service of having a host, and then installing the software WordPress.org or WordPress on that host. So let's take a look at the differences. I put together this infographic a while back. For WordPress.com, you can get a domain for $18 per year. You have to purchase it via WordPress.com. Your hosting is free, and I'll have a caveat with that. If you're okay with having something like Huset.wordpress.com or techiemama.wordpress.com, then you don't need to buy your own domain. But if you do, then it's $18. Your hosting is free with limitations of space and ads. And there's feature upgrades that you can do. For $99 a year, you can remove your ads, you can get 13 gigs of space, and you can get a custom design. For $299 a year, you get unlimited storage and e-commerce support. If you host by yourself, your domain costs about $10 a year. So you can do this in a number of different ways. There are a number of different registrars out there, and some hosts give you the domain for free for 1 year. Bluehost does this. It's a great little perk that they have. Hosting starts at about $5 a month. It can be more or less. Bluehost year's worth of hosting. You can get it for as cheap as $3 a month. And it goes up and down from there. But $5 is a good kind of starting place that you can expect. And there's no upgrades. You own everything on your site. So if you want to upgrade it with e-commerce, you just install the e-commerce plugins. If you want to upgrade your design and do a custom design, you just do your custom design. All right, and then themes and plugins. So on WordPress.com, you have limited theme support. Only about 290 themes available. Only 290 themes available. It's still quite a few themes, and there's no custom theme support. So the theme that you choose, that's kind of what you get. So you don't get as much playtime with the colors and the fonts and so forth. Plugin support, there's only plugins are with .org. If you're installing it on your own server, so to say, then you get over 5,000 themes to choose from. Plugins, there are also thousands of plugins available. And so this can be kind of a double-sided whammy here. So trying to decide between 5,000 themes might be a little difficult. It might be way overwhelming. Same thing with the plugins. It's kind of nice sometimes that, WordPress.com, the creators of WordPress have kind of vetted these plugins and decided, hey, these are the best ones to do. So monetization, this is a big one because we all want to try and make some money from our websites. So on WordPress.com, there's limited. You're not allowed to sell ads. High traffic sites can apply revenue, and premium and business plans get AdWords, which is the WordPress kind of ads that they can display. With your own hosted site, you can have whatever ads you want on your site. You can use whatever services, and you get to keep 100% of your ad revenue. Maintenance is a huge thing. So for WordPress.com, you don't have to worry about maintenance. You everything is updated for you. All the technical stuff is done for you, and they have support that you can link into that we'll talk about next. Manual maintenance for WordPress.org. You have to keep your site up to date or you have to pay a service. I do this as a service for $37 a month. You have to run your own backups, your own updates, and make sure that your site is secure. Support, WordPress.com support. You have support through forums run by members and staff, or you can upgrade to premium or business and have direct email and live chat support. For WordPress.org, you have WordPress forum support in addition to possibly freelancers or coaches that you can hire. So anytime you need support, you can hire me. You can talk with me. I love helping out. And I am launching a course on Valentine's Day for $37. $37 for a full-fledged do-it-yourself WordPress course starting from scratch, doing a WordPress.org site with your hosting and everything you need to get your site set up. This is a massive course, you guys. It's worth hundreds of dollars, and I'm launching it at $37 for a limited time, a super, super cheap option. All right, so let's take a look at the interfaces of WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So, give me a second here. I'm having some issues here. Just gonna go. Now. All right, so I'm going to set up techiemama.wordpress.com. So if I go to that URL, it doesn't exist, and it asks me if I want to go ahead and set it up. So we'll go ahead and click on register. And I'll go through the registration process. So I'm going to go with blog because I know, but this is where you can select the business and the professional, and then an online store. Let's see what options we have. These might actually be okay for paid. So let's do tutor. All right, so we'll continue. Our name is Techie Mama. We'll continue. I don't want a domain right now, so let's see. There is an option for a free domain. That's kind of cool. But we want to just go and continue. This isn't working very well. Okay, let's start again. Let's go to Techie Mama. Let's just do blog. There we go. Okay. So I don't know if you saw those options I picked, but I'm doing it on the fly live. So you can go through and look at those options. All right. So, yay. Cue the banners and the streamers. We have our page. And so, the biggest thing to kind of realize with WordPress.com and WordPress.org is that the look is going to be a little different. So, let's go to the site that we usually use, which is techieMamaDemos.com. And I'm going to log in here and let's take a look at our back end or our dashboard in both places. This, I think, is the most confusing things for users because press, and for the most part, they're both the same, but you have a little bit of a different interface between the two, and that kind of can get confusing. But if you can get past the colors and the slightly different interface, then underneath it's really, really similar. All right, so here we have initially kind of this is yet another layer. It's called Jetpack or WordPress.com, kind of the web version. So you can see kind of some of your options here. And you can get this for a hosted or a WordPress.org as well by including Jetpack in your plugins. And then if we go to WP Admin, you'll see that a lot of the things look the same. So if you go into WP Admin, then you still pages. You have a couple other things that are either leftovers like links or new things like feedback that are coming from WordPress.com. You also have a little bit of navigation here because you can follow different sites and do different things. And then, of course, they have a link to their plans for their different plans to upgrade. So if you look at it, it's very similar. I have a couple other things installed like WooCommerce, WP Forms, and Elementor. Keep in mind that when you're on WordPress.com, you won't have access to things like Elementor or WooCommerce unless you purchase the upgraded features plans. You can have access to some of those, but not everything. So that's the main difference. I always encourage people to go towards the WordPress.org site. I do think, though, that if you're just starting out and you just want to get to know WordPress and you don't want the hassle of figuring out all the pieces, that WordPress.com is a great way to get started. And it's super easy to move from WordPress.com to a hosted site once you're ready to make that move. But I generally do advise to go towards WordPress.org because you own all the content, you own the site, you own everything. And so if you have a spike in visitors, you can handle that with your server and you can manage that. If you want to monetize, you can add any kind of monetization that you want. Things like Google Ads is relatively easy to get into, or if you want Amazon affiliate links, all of these things are monetization and would be not allowed on .com site. So that's kind of the basic difference between the two. Both are great. Both have their pluses and minuses. And if you're curious on how to get started with WordPress, if you've been waiting to set up your site and you want to jump in and take advantage of my course launching at an unbelievable price of $37, go to techiemama.live/DIY WordPress and sign up there. And I will be sending out coupon codes for the launch on Valentine's Day. Yay, because I heart your face. All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and go be WordPress awesome and Techie Mama awesome and Mompreneur awesome.